administration, software requirements we have discussed, hardware requirements, and also what is HANA and introduction part we discussed, general things we discussed, and also we discussed about the difference between HANA 1.0 and HANA 2.0. The difference between HANA 1.0 and HANA 2.0 we discussed here, right? So that is the one thing which we discussed. So after that we discussed about the how to download the softwares as well, how to download the softwares as well here, right? So downloading the softwares means we know we have to go to the service marketplace. There we can download the respective, so HANA DB software client. Add-ons and plugins are optional, but database client is mandatory to download it. Up to here, I guess we discussed. So now let's start with the installation part. But before we go for the installation here, so I hope everybody knows about the some Linux commands, right? Some Linux commands, useful Linux commands here. Why? Because HANA we have to install only in which operating systems? HANA DB we have to install on the which operating systems?
Linux.
Linux
Linux.
only. So why? Why Linux? Why not Windows? So why Linux means HANA. So that type of memory, Windows hardware, it won't support it here. That type of hardware, like up to 32 terabyte, up to 32 terabytes, Windows hardwares it won't support. Only the Linux one will support it here. That's why HANA, especially for the HANA databases, dedicated to run only on the Linux platform. On Linux platform only. Linux platform means either so either SUSE Linux, SLES, or RHL, Red Hat Linux. Red Hat Linux. Only these two operating systems we can install the Linux here. Sorry, HANA database here, right? So this versions, hardware requirements, right? And also what are the binaries we required, GCC libraries, RPM packages, operating system versions. So these things we discussed last two classes. We discussed about these things, right? So now let's, before we go for the installation of the HANA database here, so we should know about the how to log into the Linux operating systems and how to operate the Linux operating system using the commands. So these things are very important here, right? So here the login to the Linux operating system. So putty is the tool we have to use it here. Putty. So putty is the tool. Not only putty, we have the some robax, and so the movax term and some other tools also there. But normally frequently putty people will use it. This is an open source platform which we have to install on the every user desktop here. It's a very free. It's a free. We can install it here, right? It's a small piece of software here. Then using the putty, we will log into the our systems here. Then you can use the KPS4 HANA is our host name. Okay, KPS4 HANA is our host name from your Windows. From Windows, once you log into the Windows, this jump server here on top of the desktop, you see the putty. Okay, putty. Just click on the putty. So then this one host name, right? Host name. You can use the KPS4 HANA. Then click on the OK button. Then you will get the login as. Okay, so you can use the root user. Then root is the administrator user for the Linux systems here, right? So then let me change the settings. So root. So then password you can use it here, right? So you now you logged into the KPS4 HANA. Okay. So you logged into the Linux operating system here. So when you are typing the password will not be so visible in this location. Why? Because here the just you need to type it, it will be the displayed, but it will not, you will not able to see here. Okay, just to type the password, I will share the details. Click on the OK button, then you will able to see the Linux operating system. Linux, you will log into the Linux here. This is the Linux here. Okay, so here we need to execute the commands here. Why? Because Linux is like a so one of the black box. So here not like Windows GUI. So Windows GUI, how will you do it? In the Windows level, normally we use in the Windows level we will use the GUI mouse to operate the all the things. But here we have to use the commands to operate it here. So some of the useful commands for the basis team here, like so df display file systems here, right? So if you use the df, so you see there are the display file systems here, right? You can see the display file systems. These are the file systems are, sir, it's not in different formats are they? It's not in, can you, so then in this case df hyphen h space hyphen h, now you will see it in the good format here, like what is the size, these are the file systems, C naming convention, these are the mount points here. So like that Windows we have the C drive, D drive, E drive, F drives, how we have similarly here we have the file systems concept here. So Windows it's a drives concept. When it comes to the so Linux it's a file systems concept. Linux it's a file system concept here. Linux it's a file system concept we have here, right? So then in this file systems you can see the so normally Windows level, if you just open the C drive or D drive, so just to, if you open the this PC, so then you will see the this PC, you will see the so what is the space, what is the current utilized, what is the memory, what is the free, you can see the all the information here Windows, right? So but in the Linux you have to use the df-h command to check the space of the file systems and mounted and our thing here df, if you click it out it will come, but it not will not be displayed. This is displaying the which format, actually normally bytes, this is displaying the bytes format. So but if you use the df space hyphen h in a order wise, it will display it here, right? That is the one. And also the free space hyphen g, I will send you the one of the notebook, one of the PDF where you have the listed commands are there, then you can practice it there. Okay, so free hyphen g, this is means free means so to check the memory, total memory. But if you use the free hyphen g here, it will display in the good format, good total format, like total 26 GB memory you have. So then what is the used one, what is the free one, so it will display, it will provide what is the swap memory. So all the information will be displayed here, right? Free hyphen g, right? Memory. So then if you just open the ls cpu command here, then it will display the how many number of cpus we have, number of cpus we have, online cpus we have, what is the vendor id, intel, right? Little Indian, that 64-bit operating systems here, right? You have the details here. If we go to the top command here, it will display the CPU utilization, current CPU utilization, live CPU utilization, it will be displayed here. The live utilization will be displayed here. How much percentage of CPU and the memory, time, like which user causing the issue. See here, which user causing the high CPU, high memory issue. So that information will be live information, which user, which process ID, how much CPU utilization is causing here, and memory utilization is causing by this process. It will give you the clear information here. Okay, that is called the, right, this is called the top command here. Once you are in the top, just say, press the control C, you will get the screen here, right? So if you type the host name, ho host name, it will display the what is the your computer name. Normally Windows level we know what is your computer name means. Then we will go to the this PC. So right click at the properties, then you will see the how much memory it is available, what is the your computer name, what is the your operating system name. So you will see the all the details here, right? So but when it goes to the Linux operating system here, you need to manually type the host name, and also you need to just to check the operating system version here. Just cat space hyphen etc os hyphen release. So os hyphen release here, then it will display the what is the your Linux version. It will display the information here, right? Your Linux version and information will be displayed in this case here. This is the way here. Okay, so this is the way we can check it out here. Cat command to display the file content here. I will come to that point as well here. So suppose if you want to now df hyphen hatch here, suppose if you want to go to the any folder, then cd means change directory, cd slash temp. So then you will go to that cd slash temp, you will jumping into the cd slash temp folder here. You are in the pwd present working directory. So which means here, so date, so current date will be displayed here. So users, how many number of users are connected, that will be displaying here, right? So this is in the EDT time, April 21st, 8:47. It's in the different time zone here, right? So you are in the slash temp folder here. If you want to go to the some other folder here, slash home, that will be displayed here. CD slash HANA. So then you will jump into the HANA folder here like this. So ls-ltr here, right? It will display the list of content, file content here. ls-ltr will let you know how many folders and files are there inside of the folder here. Inside of the folder, how many are there? It will provide the display information here. It will provide the display information here. Slash ana, so log, data, slide. So these are the file systems, right? These are the directories here. Sir, how can you know which this is the directory or file? Because every folder you can see here, there is a d means it's a directory here, right? So if not the d, then that is the file. D means directory. So every folder starts with the d. This is a permissions here. So directory, read, write, execute, read. So execute, read, execute. So ownership, like users, guest, users, and super users, permissions and everything. So this folder is owned by root user, and as the group, root group here. So when it was created here, right? So when it was created, so this information is displaying here. So that is the one thing here. Okay, so suppose if you want to create the one folder or file here, go to, so suppose like if you want to create the one folder, then make mkdir, suppose like example Ravi, then ls space ls hyphen ltr, then Ravi folder got created here. Ravi folder got created here. You can see the Ravi folder got created here, right? So here, so suppose if you want to delete here, rm minus rf recursive force, then Ravi, right? Then the folder got deleted. You can see ls hyphen ls means listing, how many are there. So if you want to create the file, then touch space file name. So Ravi dot txt text, right? Then ls hyphen ltr, then file got created here, right? Ravi dot txt, and the file got created here, right? So then if I just go to, so then copy, cp copy, so right, cp space file name, then do you want to copy this file to the slash temp folder? So right, temp folder, temporary folder, then you can copy it here, so that your file exists in the slash hana source as well as the target also here, right? Target also it is exist, ravi.text. So ravi.text here, you can see it here. So you can see it here. So cd slash hana folder. So here you can see, so these are the directories. How can you say D? But here we don't have the any D option, no D, which means this is the file. This is the just file, not the directory here. So within the directory, if you want to go cd space directory name, so then you will jump into the here it will tell you you are in a which directory. Otherwise, just if you
Um,
type the pwd, it will provide the present working directory
Sir,
here.
one question.
Yeah.
Sir, the .sap stream files, sir, what are these files?
These all are the temporary files actually. Temporary, the some SAP or HANA service are running here. These are the temporary services files here. It is auto generating in the temporary folder here. In a Windows, in your Windows operating systems, in the /temp. So how this is the runtime fold files, some wastage will be located here. Similarly, in the /temp, so there is a runtime services related files will be generated here in the /temp in the Linux level. Windows level, right? Temp folder. Always sometimes if your system is not working good or something, what you prefer, you will go and clear the some temp files. Correct? Right? You will clear the some temp files here, temporary files here. So similarly, here also the temp is the temporary where all the services will return the logs, something here in this location here, right? That is the temp. That's why we'll call it the temporary. Okay. So in the /HANA shade, you will jump in. Sir, how you are jumping into the one folder to other folder? CD space. So data, so cd space and other folder name, then you will able to jump into the other folders here, right? That is the cd space folder name here, right? You see the details here, right? So here, suppose like if you, so sir, my manager asked me to check how much free memory is available, then free space hyphen g, free he is asking about the MB, then MB, right? He is asking about the kilobytes, then K. He is asking about the bytes B. So then whatever the format the output should be displayed, then you can see it here. Then all the information is displaying here. Only the usage G, MB, KB, bytes, right? So that is the one thing here. Just if you want to clear the screen, just you can clear it here. All right. You want to display the date, you can display it here. Suppose we want to so see the how many folders files are there inside of the /HANA folder here. This will be display the how many folders and files are. Sir, I want to rename this to the different. Rename means move command mv space the same location. I want to move to the Ravi 1 here. Right. Then if you just squeeze the ls-ltr, so the file got renamed to the Ravi 1 here. Sir, I want to move this folder to the out of this folder. Then move space. Then you can just go to the temp here. Then it will not be available in the temp folder here. See, it is available in the temp only here. If you go to the temp, this is why because you executed the move, not the copy. Copy means it will exist in the source and as well as the target as well here. But move command, it will only exist, will delete from the source after the copy, right? That is that the difference. Windows level also here, right? If you want to create the folder mkdir, so file creation touch is the folder name. So touch is the command to create the files here, right? That is the one thing here, right? And also one more important thing is, so some of the these are the some useful commands, suppose like HO double and chown. Chown is the chown you will use to change the ownership of the file all folder here. Ownership changes here. Ownership changes here. Ownership changes here. Right. So that is the one thing here. Right. That is the one thing. Ownership changes here. Ownership changes. Suppose example, who is the owner of the this file here? Root and group. This is the owner of the file name, username, and it. Suppose I want to change it to the different user here. Suppose example, so shown Ravi. Suppose I want to change it to the Ravi, then group is same. I want to change. I want to use the same group, but only thing is I want to change the ownership to file ownership to the so just Ravi. Ravi user is there, then then Ravi user will be created. So in case of Ravi is not exist, suppose like there is a basis user here, right? Check, click on the basis, right? invalid user, basis user also. So means user is not exist, that's why it's unable to change it here. Suppose you want to change the user, change it to the HDB ADM user. Suppose like then the user is executed, the command is there. See here, previously the ownership is root. Now the ownership got changed to the HDB ADM user. The group is same here. So that is the CHOWN, group changes here, ownership changes here. So that is the CHO shown for the group changes, ownership of the file all, simply ownership of the so file all, folder changes here, right? That is the one thing here, right? The next one is the CH mode, permission changes, permission, changing the permission to the file or folder or anything here, changing the permission here. That is the one thing here, right? Permissions, right? So CH mode and permissions and file name. So CH mode, suppose example file CH mode space permissions you need to set, and the file or directory you need to give it here, CH mode, right? CHOWN, group or ownership changes. So permissions here, permissions are specified. So combination of the so letter, group, others here, the permissions here, right? So numbers, right? So normally here, so I can say like here, so there is some codes here, right? So some codes here, number codes here. Suppose example, so 0, if you give the ch mode 0, so then there are no permissions here. One for execute, one for execute, let me write it out here, right? 0, no permission. One means execute. If you give the one ch mode, so one, that is the permission. Two, which means so two is like a write, right? So then 24 is a read here, 24 and 245. 5 is like a 245, read and execute, read and execute here, read and execute here, right? So then 6, then it's a read and write, read and write here. That is the one thing here. Then so 7, 7 is the last one, that is called the so read, write and execute, read, write, execute here, right? 2 4 5 6 7 here. So this is a ch mode. In the permission column, this permission you have to execute this one here, right? So example how we have to u plus, this is the so so user or group here, right? Suppose example how we have to give it here, ch mode, so 777, so file name here, right? Full permission, 777 means everybody will get the full permission here, right? Set the read, write and execute permission to the owner, group, owner and read and execute permissions to the group and others, group and others here, like this here, right? 777, right? So 777, so here, so owner of the file, right? So another owner, and so read, execute permissions and others, all the information. So like, so permission you have to give it combination of the three, so numbers and everything here, right? So some people they will give you like ch mode 655, 655. 6 means so read and write for the so group, then 55 and read and execute for the others here, right? And file name here, like combination, that one we have to use it here. But most frequently we will use either 777 or so 665, we will use it for this one here, right? For giving the so permissions here, that is the main thing here. Ch mode is for so permission changes. Suppose example, if you see here ch mode, so 777, the file name here, right? Ch mode 777 permission here, then you see the permission got changed here. See, totally previously this got different here, right? Now see, so everybody got the full access, everybody got the full access to the this file, right? Suppose you want to edit something in this file, you want to add the entries in this file here, then go to the vi, just file name, click on the vi editor. This is the one of the important thing, vi editor, which means we want to insert the some rows, some records, something inside of the file, just vi space means, and click on the I for insert, then you will get the insert button here, then you can write the text here, you can write the text here, how you want to write the text here, so that you can write it here, how you want to write it here, that one you can write it here. Okay, that is the writing the data inside of the file vi editor, right? Now you want to save it, right? Click on the escape, okay, colon, escape colon, you can see the here. So w means save, q means q, q, q and exclamatory. This syntax is very important to save the file and execute. wq exclamatory, click on the ok button, then file got saved here, file got saved here, right? You see the file got saved here, right? This is done, right? This is done here. So means you have added the some entries here. Sir, how can I know which entries I added? Either you can use the cat command, it will display the content of the file, or you can go to the more command, it will display the content of the file here. Both are same. So cat or more space. So this file name, then whatever the information is there, that will. Sir, I want to delete last lines here. Then you can go to again VI editor, the file name here. So file name here, you want to delete, right? Just I for insert, just execute the backspace, that entries will be deleted here, that entries will be deleted here, that entries will be deleted here. You want to save and quit, and so then escape colon, if you only type the q and exclamatory mark, only q and exclamatory mark, it will be, so that it will be quit, that means without saving the file will be quit, means existed, right? Exited, right? Just if you use the q and exclamatory, the file will be so quit here, right? That is the one thing here, just quit, right? So if you use the double and q, that will be save and quit here, that is the main thing here, right? So just execute, that will be saved here. Sir, I want to only last 10 lines only, I want to see, not all the file. Then tail command, tail hyphen, so 10 last 10 lines only I want to execute here, then it will display the last 10 lines only. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, up to here only it will be displayed, yes, right? Up to here only it will be displayed. Sir, I want to display the last 20 lines, last 11 lines here, then one more line extra, right? Then one more ef, one more line got displayed here, right? So sir, I want to top 10 lines only, header, right? Header, so head means header, right? Top 10 lines only it will be displayed here, top 10 lines only. Header, head, head, right? See, top 10 lines only it is displaying. So tail means last lines, header means top, so that will be displayed here, right? So directory, make directory rm, remove, right? So then, so cpu, memory, so these are the some use permission giving normally. So permissions and everything the owner, your linux team will take care of, but so, some of the important commands you should know about cd, change directory, LSF and LTR. So executing, checking the space. As part of the daily, if we go to the df-h, you will see the how much space we have, how much memory we have. So what is the free percentage of the space? So why? Because HANA will be installed in these file systems. If something is happens, so if the file system got 100% full here usage, then immediately so your system will get hung here. System will get hung status here. If the suppose like memory is the very less here, so here used is the total is the 26 GB RAM memory, then used is the 26, then there is a free 0 MB, 0 KB, 0 GB is free, then immediately your voice will get hung. Immediately your voice will get hung here. That is the one of the important thing here. Okay, so that is the one of the important factor here. Okay, that we can use it here. right? These are the some of the useful commands to install the before we go for the installation of the HANA database. These commands are you should know about here, right? Then we can go ahead and install the HANA database here, right? But before that, just let me recap that about the this Linux commands here, some useful Linux commands here, right? So I will share the one PDF there. You can see the all the Linux commands and everything here. Okay, and also once the HANA database during the HANA database installation, as we discussed, what is the difference between the HANA 1.0 and 2.0? So anybody can give some insights on what is the difference between the HANA 1.0 and 2.0.
HANA 1.0 is
Is a
single
single
tenant.
DB, single DB
Yes.
concept.
Single container, then the short
Single.
we have to technically we have to database language we have to speak it about single container and multi-container. Single means the standalone database will be installed. Multi-container means what you will get. Multi-container means
System DB, tenant DB.
yeah, one system DB by default means one ground floor, one first floor you will get apartment concept, right? You understand that apartment concept and independent house concept here. System DB, one tenant DB you will get. So what is the system DB and tenant DB? Sir, why the two? If you install the one database, you should only get the one database, right? Then why two databases you are getting? Which means it is a multi-container, multiple databases you can install it here. But so 1.0 is not a single container. It's not like a system DB. There is no tenant DB, system DB concept here. So, but HANA 2.0 is kind of a so multi-container concept here. In one SID, in one HANA database, you can install the multiple tenants, right? Once you install the G plus one, then in apartment concept, you can install the multiple floors. You can install it, right? Multiple floors, you can construct it here. Here also you can create it, but there is a limitations in the our real world scenario. Also, there is a limitations, right? The people cannot go with up to 100 floors or 99 floors or so 1,000 floors, but there is a limitations like about like up to 20 up to 19 like that we can go with this one here, right? Plus up to 19 tenants we can create it here. So total one system database 20 tenants and one host, that is possible, one host. Then another operating system you can create the one more 20 here like that, right? So why the tenant databases are more? Why the tenants are more? Owners will stay ground floor, we will call it as a ground floor only. But the first floor, second floor, third floor, there are the floors only, right? Then what is the difference here means the ground floor is the owner. Normally owners will stay. Example, right? Tenants will stay. That's why we'll call it as the tenant floors. Tenants, right? First floor, second floors, tenants will stay, right? That's why one system DB and a tenant DB concept here. So system DB, what is system DB here, right? And what is tenant DB here, right? System DB, there is no SQL data, there is no data saved in the system DB, right? So nothing, there is no use of the system DB first of all, but only use case is to manage the all the tenants, to manage the all the tenant databases. We use the to manage the all the tenant databases, we use the tenant data. So tenant databases here, right? So all the SQL data, all the applications related data will sit into the tenant databases only, not the system database here. System DB will manage the all the tenants. Managing means so inserting the records, right? So managing means so managing the all the tenant databases here, right? So managing means managing the all the tenants, right? So this kind of activities will be done by the this kind of activities will be done by the so like stop, if you want to stop the tenant databases you need to use the tenant DB. We want to if you want to means if you want to stop the tenant database you need to use the tenant DB system database. We want to change the parameters of the tenant database, you need to use the system DB. So if you want to stop, if you want to delete of the tenants, managing all the managing related operations, it will be performed by the so system DB. But there is no SQL data, nothing will be saved into the tenant DB. Only actual SQL data, all the applications will connect to the tenants only. All the applications, it will connect to the applications. It will connect to the applications, all the applications SAP. So any SAP applications, any third-party applications will connect to the tenants only. Why? Because all the data saving into the tenants. So wherever we have the data, applications will point to that data only, right? That's why we have the tenant database here. That's why we have the tenant database. System database will only manage the all the tenants. That is the one of the difference. You can take it out. All the SAP applications. Suppose example, if you see here, so this is the so database, right? This is the system DB. So these all are the tenant database here. So all the data resides, all the data resides tenant database only, tenant database only here. So system database, nothing will be there. System database means ground floor owners will manage the all the tenants, right? So that's why we have the system DB concept here, right? That is the main thing here. So means ground floor system DB. So then tenant 1, tenant 2, tenant 3, like the tenants. So all the applications will connect to the applications. SAP applications will directly connect to the tenants only here. That is the main thing of the here. Okay, that is the main thing. Okay, so that is the difference between the system DB and tenant DB here. So there is no data in the system DB. System DB crash also there is no problem. Why? Because there is no data. But tenant DB, so everyday backups we have to take care, and we need to check all the tenants and everything here. That is the main important thing here. Okay. So that is the multi-container concept. And so we'll start the installation. I think you need to practice the Linux commands. Okay, so you can utilize today, then do the practice on the Linux operating systems. Do the practice on the Linux operating systems here, right? I will share you the some commands, some useful commands using the commands, and I will share the host details and port number. Then we can do the practice. You can practice it. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
Sir, what are recursive commands and what are force commands?
Force recursive means I didn't get you exact. What is the
Sir,
question?
commands like -xvf, sir, where you are mentioning force, F for force, and those kind of commands,
Okay,
sir.
okay, 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 okay. Recursive and force, right? So normally, so if you don't use RF, suppose like when you are doing the minus RM means normally it will delete only files. RM only, suppose like the command only delete the files only, not the folders. Sometimes you will not able to delete the file also, that will be using by the other process. So that time you cannot. But if you use the -RF recursive force, immediately that file or folder or whatever it may be, it will be deleted. Either file or folder, it will be using by anyone. Or sometimes what happens when you are trying to delete the one folder or file, right click and delete, you will not able to delete because this will be used by the some other process, right? So that time if you use the RF command here, recursive force